Back in front of the lights.
Welcome back.
Feels good, man. Feels good.
Yeah, I'm glad to have you here in the studio today. We're back. Okay, we're back in action here. Prestonian decided to come on, have in the studio. Come visit a little bit.
Well, yeah, I live here, so it's not too hard for me.
Sure.
But you did take the trek up.
It's a longer drive for me.
The home stew. We haven't recorded in actually a minute because we banked a few episodes.
Yeah, we banked a few, and then we skipped this last week.
Yeah, we just said, hey, let's take a day off. Sure, let's shoot the breeze and go out on a date, whatever.
Take a rain check, and that's what we did. And so now we have just kind of saved up all this pent-up energy for this
aggression.
weekend.
Yeah. We're going to tackle this one head on. Yeah, and it's nice because we haven't really... I don't know if I kind of like the lag because when I edit them, it's like, oh, it's what we did last week or 2 weeks ago. And so it's kind of fresh to me. But I also like, it's something about, oh, we just recorded. This is live. This is happening right now. This is almost a live episode.
Yeah.
Makes you feel a little bit more excited as the listener, I feel like.
It does. It kind of keeps you on the edge of your seat, keeps you engaged. So are we going to try to do a marathon again? We're going to try to do a couple
I think we're going to try to squeeze in, what do you think, 5?
I think 5 would be... maybe pushing it a little bit. But
okay. Considering you got here last night, we're just starting now. It's about 3 p.m.
It is, yeah.
1 p.m.
Oh, okay. Oh, we got time.
That's 2 more episodes I forgot about.
We got plenty of time.
We could probably do 7 a day. So, yeah, we're in the studio, like we said, which means this is a video episode as well.
Right.
So this will be up on YouTube. If you're tired of hearing us, maybe look at us. That'll help.
Switch it up a little bit.
We're easy on the eyes.
Stop. Okay.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
And I fixed the lighting in here. So the lighting should be much better than last time.
Because we have, blue lighting this time?
Yeah, it's more of a cool blue light instead of the harsh yellows we had before. Those are no good.
No.
I got a 5-piece lighting setup. I mean, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
You got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, so just check out the YouTube channel. And yeah, so who are we? Why are we here?
My name's Preston.
I'm Connor.
And this is I Wasn't Asking You. This is a show where we go online, we find questions that haven't been answered, and we give an answer. This week,
space,
outer,
Inner?
or otherwise.
Yes.
It's all about space. We didn't come up with this theme personally. We had a employee of ours. She gardens. I shouldn't say employee.
Yeah.
She's not gonna like that.
She's not paid either. So.
Thankfully, right? Although she uses my credit card like there's no tomorrow.
Okay.
Space.
And should we go ahead and play the intro? Or
We should. I think this is a point where we play the intro. We're getting better at starting these episodes quicker.
That we are.
Especially when I edit them in post and cut out 5, 10, 15 minutes of what our jibber jabber is.
I noticed that in the last one.
Did you? Yeah, the last one, I think we literally talked for 20 minutes, and then we were like, oh, let's just start it here. And I listened to it, and I was like, wow, we're just kind of rambling for a while. I'm just going to cut all that out. And then it was like, we start here, and I was like, let's go.
Yep, worked out well.
Yeah, it was still like a 35-minute episode, so it worked out. That's a little under the hood, though.
Yep.
We don't need to get into that. Let's go and play the intro before it turns into another one of those. We got to chop this, cut that, right? Connor said something. He made a 10-minute long goof, and I just had to cut the whole thing because it got insensitive. I gotta download it.
Okay. What should we talk about in the meantime? That's fast.
I got 5G. It's playing in the other room.
Nice.
It's probably not picking up on the recording, but that is so loud in the other room. My neighbors love this.
Yeah, your neighbors can definitely hear this because I can hear every single thing that's going on above us.
Really?
Yeah, like when they walk.
Yeah, you can hear people walking, but I haven't heard like their TV or anything, just like the floorboards creaking.
Yeah, just the floors.
So I doubt they can hear me blasting music. And just for a little context for everybody, I have a sound bar that I've put above my TV, like I mounted it to the wall, which means it's about 2 inches from my neighbor's floor. And sometimes I like to bump some tunes in there.
Yeah.
So they might pick up on that. I don't know.
Maybe. We did, we had a nice poker night last night.
Yeah. I was playing music through it. It was pretty quiet, though. It was pretty quiet. But before anybody got here, so I had some people over, and I like to play music for everybody, but I started it before everybody got here, and I like to kind of bump it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You can't bump it too loud when people are here. You want to talk, you want to chat, hang out, whatever, niceties. But when I'm alone, crank that sucker up. So I had it on like 100%. I'm jamming out, And my neighbors are none the wiser.
Well, probably not, but they may have been a little, a little frustrated. Like, man, this guy's bumping it. The ground is literally shaking beneath us, right?
Probably shaking a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
The subs are. I actually taped those to the ceiling as well. I don't really know why I needed to do that. I just kind of like it when the apartment shakes.
Yeah.
Gives you that nice bass in your heart. You can feel it.
Yeah, it just kind of it shakes your heart. It shakes your whole being.
It's good for the soul. Anyways, space. Let's go and get this bad boy started. I got the first question here if you're ready.
Fire away.
I already have 2 siblings, all above the age of 7, and my parents are planning on conceiving another kid, but we don't want another sibling. What should I do? We have reasonable reasons not to want one. Financial problems, space, ekata.
Okay, that was
That's the end of the question, yeah.
Okay. So there's two siblings.
Plus the writer, so I'm assuming 3 kids total here.
Got it. Three together, and her parents are planning on getting another one, but they are not on board with it.
Well, this is actually the size of your family. You have a brother and a sister, so that makes 3.
Yep.
How did you stop your parents from keep going at it like rabbits?
Well, I did not have to stop them. They kind of stopped themselves at 3.
Okay.
Thankfully, because then I would have had to, like this guy, gone on court and sought some help.
Yeah, because you have financial issues.
Exactly. And actually, you have 4.
Yep.
You have 3 siblings.
Yep.
So what's it like with that? I mean, less space, more financial problems, etika. So
yeah, we were spaced out enough where it was like 4 of us weren't all in the house for that long. I guess it was like 12 years if you consider that a long time that there was 4 of us in the house.
Yeah.
But I mean, it all worked out for me. I didn't have any complaints. I liked having siblings. It was like I had permanent friends in the house.
That's not bad.
So I didn't have a problem with that. I don't know what this guy's deal is.
Well, maybe he doesn't like a whole lot of friends. Maybe he's more introverted. Maybe he just likes 1 or 2 friends, and then a third friend's kind of like it's too much for the party.
Okay, there's not enough space.
Not enough space.
That's what he's worried about.
And he also likes having maybe they all have a little allowance. And if little Jimmy Jr. comes by, he's gonna be dipping his paws in that allowance jar.
Okay.
Less for everybody else.
He thinks there's a pool of money that his parents have attributed to the kids, and he's gonna take a slice of that cheese.
Yes, and he likes the cheese, kind of all to himself.
He wants the cheese. Well, you could try to steal his allowance money. I'm not gonna advocate for that though. I think it's probably fine. I don't think you can tell your parents not to have another kid.
Well, you could tell him, but it may not go over well. It may not work. So he's saying, okay, what if plan A is just straight up, hey, Mom, I'm going to be vulnerable with you. Okay. I don't want you to have
That's a good way to start, because immediately when you said that to me, I was like, wow, okay. What does he have to say? I'm interested, and my ears are wide open. That's a good start.
Thank you. So you got to be vulnerable. You got to say, hey, Mom, I like the attention and the cheddar that you're giving me. I'm worried if you have another kid, he's going to take from that pot.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
I like this advice, because he's going to go to his mom and say that, and she's going to have a very good reason why it's going to be okay. She's going to say, oh, you're going to love your little brother, and, you guys are going to share everything, and you're going to grow up together and form these strong connections. Yeah. And that's going to beat 1,000 times over this extra 50 cents you get in your allowance.
But then he says, well, Mom, I already have a younger brother, right? I already have a younger brother and younger sister. I'm good on all fronts.
But you know what's so special about that power of one more?
Yeah.
The grass is always greener,
Yeah, but he's just like, I got to take the 50 cents. I'm going to put in my 401k. I'm young. I'm 6 years old right now. 10, 20, 30, 40 years down the line, maybe $50.
Could be.
Yeah.
Could be. This guy's really, if he's 6 and he already understands the 401k and he's planning to get $50 by retirement, that's probably not even going to buy him a pack of gum in 2070, if I can be honest with him.
Well, he gets, 50 cents every week or two. So he's going to kind of,
compound.
Yeah, he's going to reinvest bi-weekly.
Okay. If he's talking all this, maybe he won't be in the house much longer anyways. It sounds like he's going to get to Princeton by the time he's 10.
That'd be nice.
He gets out of the house. He doesn't have to worry about the little brother and little sister and running around the house. He can, I don't know, probably start making some money, learn to code.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He'll probably do just fine for himself.
So you're thinking maybe instead of solving your problem in the way of preventing your parents from having another little kiddo, you just get out of the house.
You get out. You become the one less kiddo. You only want your parents to have 3 kids? Fine. You disappear. You hightail it.
Yeah.
You go to Australia. You go to Hungary. Wherever they don't take track of their incoming passengers.
Okay. And do you think he's going to miss his family, though?
It sounds like he's not quite a family man, because first of all, his concerns are financial troubles.
Yeah.
And space. That's what he's worried about. He's not worried about, oh, my loving, caring family is going to have a new dynamic. I'm worried about it shifting. Yeah. That wasn't his concern.
Yeah, that's very true. So if he wants more financial blessings and more space, he can find that. Yeah, like you're saying, Hungary, Turkey, maybe Russia even.
Yeah. I heard they have a good thing going on over there.
Yeah, so he could probably...
I think it's called communism.
Communism sounds like maybe right up his alley. Could be. That sounds like... I just don't know. What if he doesn't like that? What if he really just wants to keep the family the size that he wants it? Just 3.
Yeah, it just seems like you don't have a lot of power in this situation.
Yeah.
You could try to take one of them out.
One of your siblings?
That's probably not good advice either.
No, probably shouldn't say that on air. We may need to DM him after the show with that. But how else? You could Now you could try to create some problems. Okay. With your dad and your mom's relationship. Now this is going to be a little spicy. Okay.
Okay, I'm strapped in.
So maybe, and I don't know, because this may break up the family. You don't want that either. You don't want to break up the family. You just
he didn't say that. He said he doesn't want another kid.
So he's okay with breaking up the family.
We don't know. Let's field the option. What are you suggesting here?
Okay.
Go up to dad and say, hey, I think Mom was riding around with some guy. She keeps bringing over when you're at work.
Yeah.
What's this about? Is he a gardener or something like that? And you just go to him all innocent. You're making it all up, right?
Uh-huh.
Your mom's hard at work, taking care of the household.
Yep, working hard.
But you throw her under the bus.
Yeah. And you do the same thing with your dad.
Vice versa.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they both come home. They don't mention it. They're kind of waiting for the other person to mention it. And their resentment's growing. Yeah. Slowly and slowly. Yeah. Then they stop talking to each other.
Uh-oh.
You don't have to worry about Jimmy coming out, right?
No. If they're not talking, they're not getting any closer than that. You just plant these little seeds of doubt. And you know what?
What?
I'm going to stop there.
That's probably a good call.
You want to take the next question?
I'll take the next question. Here we go. So just move to Russia. Okay, how about that? How about you just move to Russia? That should do it. What does it mean when a girl says she needs space?
When a girl needs space.
And this is from Anonymous Asker on Quora. I'm guessing, he's in a relationship and he, is head over heels for this girl. And the girl comes up to him and says, hey, I just could use some space right now. I just need some space.
She needs some space. Maybe he's a bit of a nagging boyfriend, you think? Yeah,
well, he just wants to spend every second of every day with her. So if that's nagging. And then when they're not together, he's just constantly texting her, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you doing? And then he kind of gets mad and upset over like small things like that.
Okay. So he sounds like he has a solid foundation, and maybe she's overreacting a little bit. But I think what she wants in this situation is less text messages, maybe a little bit more freedom. She wants the ability to go out with her friends on the weekends, but you keep saying no, no, no.
He doesn't like that.
Yeah, because she might find somebody else. She might find somebody better that's not going to nag her all the time. You don't want that.
No, he doesn't want that at all. So he just tries to do is tries to break up, kind of like our last advice. He tries to break up every single relationship she's in, keep her all to himself.
Yeah, so she builds a dependency on him.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a grade A strategy. It could work out for him. He's got to keep doubling down though, because we've already discovered this guy's not a great guy.
No,
he's not cream of the crop, and he needs to be careful what kind of farmer she visits.
Yeah, well. We just to be clear, we don't know what. I mean, this guy could be a stand-up guy.
I'm reading between the lines.
This guy could be a stand-up guy, but like you're saying,
or he could be like you and me.
What are you insinuating there?
You're right.
Okay.
He could be kind of like you. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. So, yeah. This guy needs some help. He may be a good guy. He may not be a good guy. But we know what he needs. Okay. We know what she wants.
She needs space, and he's like, What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I give you space all the time. I'm sitting in my gaming chair. You're sitting on the couch right behind me. Feed me Cheetos.
Yeah.
That's a couple feet.
What's the big huffle about?
Yeah. I'd probably advise this guy to get some hobbies. I feel like a lot of times when people say, I need space, it's because your hobby is that person. I think that was good advice.
That's not bad.
Yeah, and if your hobby is that person and you're dependent on them for your entertainment 7 days a week, that gets overwhelming for a person that maybe has other hobbies, or maybe you were their hobby too, but then they've realized this is a lot. I'm getting tired. I don't want to bicycle anymore. I want to try some swimming. That doesn't mean she doesn't like bicycling anymore. She just wants to do the triathlon, have a more fuller, richer life that doesn't just involve you.
Yeah. Ouch. Is what it is.
Yeah. Truth hurts.
Yep. So I think we mentioned this in the last podcast too. You can kind of try to work on yourself a little bit. So get your own hobbies, get some exciting stuff. Maybe start reading. Maybe write a book.
Yeah.
Work out.
That'll take a long time.
That would take a long time.
And working out's a constant habit that can help. Yeah, if she needs space, odds are you probably need space too, but you don't really realize that yet. Or this is her way of starting the breakup. And she's like, oh, let's just get a little bit of space. She gets some distance. She's like, oh, I'm not really feeling the connection anymore. Let's take a small break. But the small break is really indefinite.
Oh, and he does not want that at all.
Yeah, but once that train starts rolling, I mean, you can try to force the relationship to get locked down and maybe have a really crummy next 6 to 8 months. And really just stick it out just because you're afraid of hurting the other person. You don't want to do it. That sucks. So you're just going to stick it out.
Ouch. That sounds very, very sad.
Yeah. So I wouldn't try to keep her in there. I would just say give her the space. If it's truly because she wants to engage in other hobbies, that'll be better for both of you. You're both going to grow, pick up some of your own. If it's because she's actually initiating a breakup, bummer. Sorry about that. But you probably got to let her go there too.
Oh, what if you actually take the offensive there and you break up with her?
You could. That might save face a little bit. Be like, you're talking to your boys later and you're like, oh, how's Jenny doing?
Yeah.
And you're like, I dumped her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got her out of here. It wasn't working for me.
It
wasn't working for me. She didn't, sometimes she'd run out of Cheetos. I'm sitting there gaming. I'm playing League of Legends. I don't have Cheetos coming in constantly. I don't have the nutrients.
I said, hit me.
I lose the team fight.
Yep.
Game over. So I had to cut her loose.
Had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll save face. Probably you can have a couple laughs with the boys on the inside. Sure, you know the truth, and your heart is kind of breaking.
Oh, it's shattered.
Yeah, it's gone.
Yeah, because you know the truth deep down, and that's going to cause psychological issues in the future because you're covering it up. You don't want to feel anything. You're down on PBRs. You're saying, it doesn't matter. I broke up with her. I don't care. And that's going to cause that's a big therapy bill in the future.
And then with the therapy though, maybe your therapist could be your second love connection.
That's true. Know? That's kind of a hobby in a way.
Therapy?
Going to therapy?
It is kind of a hobby.
It's social as well. Who knows?
Yeah.
Next question?
You got it? You want me to get
I got another one here.
Okay, perfect.
I got a couple juicers I'm excited about. I'm going to give you some options here. I got options. 3. And you have another one too?
I do.
Okay, so I'm just going to pick one of these and then let you do yours after this. I have a question about a twin flame. I have a question about the end of the universe, and I have a question about a person in an apartment complex that's doing some blocking a parking space.
Okay, we just did one kind of on romance, so let's pivot a little bit. Let's do one on the parking space.
Okay, I like this one quite a bit. Okay. Upstairs tenants park behind me in my assigned space, blocking me in at all hours. They ignore requests to stop doing it and notices from property management company. They're ignoring those as well. How can I dissuade them from continuing to do so? Rental is in New York State. So this person's getting double parked out the wazoo. They're sitting in their space. Someone's parking behind them. They're stuck. They complain. They get notices, but nothing's doing. They don't really care. They still want to park there. They got to put their car somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's right behind yours because they know they can get away with it.
And he's getting trapped in, huh?
Yep.
That's no good.
Yep. And the guy that's trapping him in is getting a bunch of empty threats.
Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, you can't do this. Stop it."
Huh.
Slap on the wrist. They don't care. They can take slaps on the wrist all day long. They got to park.
Yeah. So we need to up the antes then.
Up the threat level.
We need to up the ante.
Okay.
So maybe let's see here. Okay, you got a couple options. You could get another car, or you can modify your car right now. Okay, you can modify it where you have like a couple of maybe you put some stuff on the bumpers. Where you can take you can get some NOS in there. You can put some stuff on the bumpers where you can kind of play little bumper cars with people. Okay.
Okay.
You can kind of finesse your way in and out of parking spots whilst damaging other people's cars, but keeping your car relatively crystal clean.
I think the police are going to be privy to this.
You think so?
Yeah, because they're going to see the destruction. They're going to check the security cameras. You're going to be in the hole. Your insurance might cover it, but you're going to be in the hole for that.
You don't want to be in the hole.
Yeah, those rates are going to rise.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe.
You know what I thought you were going to say?
What?
So the villain in this story, he has parents, presumably.
The guy who's double parking?
Yeah. He has parents. They have a couple kids. They're happily married. What you can do.
Okay.
You plant some evidence. You plant some seeds of doubt. Suddenly, he's so distracted with his parents' divorce.
Wow.
He's going to be parking at their place trying to fix the thing.
Okay.
And you won't have to worry about him behind you.
Okay, so that is kind of an elaborate little scheme where the mission there is to get this guy to park somewhere else.
Get his mind off of the parking space. Get him in a different mindset. And then while he's gone, what you could do, modify your parking space a certain way. I don't know the dimensions, how you do it, but in such a way where his car won't fit there anymore. Maybe put some landscaping down, whatever you need to do while he's MIA. And at that point, you can stop being malicious, stop, meddling in things, and he'll return, but just not to your space.
Yeah, that would be nice. That would be nice. You don't want him to return to your space. What if you befriend him?
Okay.
Kind of like a double agent. So you get in there, you get to know him pretty well. You take him out to dinner a couple times, right? Steaks, wine, dine him a little bit. Y'all start laughing. Y'all join a basketball club together, okay?
Okay.
And then soon
take him on a few dates.
You're naming your kids after each other. Okay, you're really good friends. This is like
wait, do you have kids together or separate?
Separate
kids. Okay.
Yeah, and this is like 4 or 5 years down the line. Wow. And so this is gonna be you're playing a long game here.
Okay. You might not even live in this apartment at this point.
In which case, then your parking would be solved.
Okay.
That's not bad at all.
You got another question?
I do. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so this is a hoarding question.
Great.
Okay. What is the best way to deal with a hoarder when something must be done, but they refuse to do anything even after counseling?
You ever watch that show Buried Alive?
I have not.
Maybe it's not called that. But there was a show about hoarding where like they go to these people's houses and it's like really bad. Like they have like 12 cats that are like hiding in the piles of boxes that they don't know about. Some of them have died and they're just sitting back there and their house is like rancid. There's like poop everywhere that they can't clean up. And it's just like a really bad environment where it's actually like a health hazard. They got these tall boxes that could fall on them. It's usually like older people that are like, 70 years old, can't get around that well. If a box falls on them, they're toast. It's a pretty crazy show that I didn't really realize people live like that. I know there's a lot of people that, they keep everything. I've heard that before. But just seeing inside some of these houses is really extreme. I found that, let's say my house burned down. I wouldn't go out and buy, and I got like a check that was equal to what I got. I wouldn't go out and buy everything that I have right now. I would probably only buy like a quarter of it. And I wouldn't even remember the other stuff that was here.
Yep.
So if you could get them out of there, burn down the house, some sort of insurance fraud, or maybe if you're well off, you can just pay for it and just give them like $100,000. Say, you can buy whatever you want now. You're not going to miss that stuff because you don't remember what it is.
Correct.
Or you can just slowly start taking stuff out when they don't notice.
Because what is this? This one, was it a friend? Okay.
Probably a family member, I would guess.
Yes, they're just asking on behalf of someone else. So maybe one of their close friends, family members is a hoarder. And they're trying, even after counseling. So they went to counseling for this hoarding issue.
I've never heard of counseling. That's interesting.
Yeah, for hoarding.
Yeah. I mean, it can definitely get bad. I feel like in those situations, there's definitely times where you could like slowly over time just keep taking things. When it's probably not legal. I mean, you don't have to steal it. You can sell it and deposit the money in their account, whatever. But just like, I don't know, if there's piles of boxes, just like when you're leaving, just like, bye, and then you turn the corner, you grab a box, and you dip. And they'd be like, oh, that's weird. I thought I had a box of used Power Rangers over here. And you're like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. There's stuff everywhere. You probably lost it. And just kind of gaslight them.
Yeah. That seems a little unhealthy too, though.
It is, but it's better than all the cat feces.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
Yeah.
My Nana actually, she was helping one of her friends. I think her friend was trying to sell her house, and she was a hoarder. And she was trying to help her get rid of all her boxes and stuff. And her hoarding friend did not want to partake in it at all. But so her hoarding friend had been dating a guy for a long time.
Okay.
And the guy, from what I understand, didn't know about her being a hoarder.
He never went to her house or anything?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
It's like she'd go visit him, but never invite him over.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of a rude awakening, I think, if you were dating someone like that, and then you find out that they're hoarding everything.
So did he find out?
That's all that I know is that they were dating for a long time, and then he maybe even proposed or something.
Wow, proposing to somebody and you've never seen their house?
Yeah,
that's something.
They'd just been dating for a long time. He could have proposed, but I'm pretty sure that he had never visited her house and didn't know of her situation.
Wow. Yeah.
And so my Nana was trying to help her, like, talk to her through about, like, what you don't need and stuff, and she was wanting to hold on to it.
Yeah, I feel like you can't really change the mindset of someone. Like, things that I think are important to me, you might look at it and be like, you don't really need that. I'd be like, I really want to keep it. I don't have that strong mindset, but I know I have a little bit of that mindset, but I understand that some people can have that to the 10th degree where it's like, there's no way I can let go of this stuff.
Yeah, because there were, like, boxes of even dirty clothes. Like, there's, like, dirty clothes boxes.
Yeah.
Where, like, it's just boxes of clothes that she hasn't washed yet, just, like, taped up and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a situation where it's hard to, like, force the hand, but if there's some way to do it, definitely just you take it upon yourself and you decide what's important, because they've lost that ability to decide that. Like, do you think there's anything in your closet where somebody could walk out with, like, a small box of stuff and you would never notice?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely some stuff that they can take and I wouldn't notice it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would, if you, like, notice, like, 5 years later, you'd be like, I probably just lost it.
Well...
Or you just never, till the end of time, would know that it was ever gone?
I don't know. Like, in my closet, because I have a pretty small closet.
This is tough, because you are pretty minimalistic. You don't have a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I have a pretty small closet. So they could definitely take some, like, of my clothes, like, of my shirts that I don't wear, because I usually only wear maybe, like, 20% of the clothes I have in my closet. Is I typically kind of just cycle through them.
Yeah.
But I don't have a big closet, so if they take, if they take a pretty good bit of stuff, or maybe just even a couple of shirts and stuff, I think I would notice.
You think you'd notice?
I think I would.
You don't have, like, any, like, old memorabilia type stuff from, like, childhood or whatever, just, like, sitting in your closet that it might just disappear and you wouldn't know?
I do have, like, a couple of, like, books and stuff that are on my shelves that I like never open. So I think if they did take that, I wouldn't notice. I'm
going to do that next time I come to your house. Something's going to go missing. Every time I come over, I'm just going to take something when you're not looking.
until I notice, I guess.
It's going to be like an old shirt or like a shoe that I don't see a match for, or, some of your cash, just whatever.
Oh, I probably would notice that.
That might be a little bit more important. You might notice that. But yeah, for me, there's definitely things like, I try to be super minimal, and there's some stuff I'm like, I shouldn't get rid of this. Like, I had this since I was like 5 or something. But if it went missing, I would never know.
What's an example of that?
I had a teddy bear in my closet for the longest time. I think I actually did finally get rid of it, but I had it since I was like 2. I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like, my mom bought this for me when I was super young, and it was just always like in a box, and it was like a really nice one. And I was like, I don't have any use for this ever. Maybe I'll give it to my kid. So I kept it for like 10, 15, 20 years. I don't think I have it anymore, though.
Jeez.
Yeah. So it's like that kind of stuff where I'm not going to miss it, but it's like, maybe I'll hang on to it.
Yep.
So I understand that feeling too a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Could you somehow infect them get something that eats all the trash?
Oh, you can release like moths.
Yeah.
And
moths
like roaches and maybe poisonous caterpillars.
Okay.
Infest their house. Because, burning it down is pretty extreme. You don't want to put them in danger, even if they're out of there. And also, you can get into a lot of legal trouble for arson.
You don't want that.
But moths or something that's in the area that could definitely happen to a place that's, very unhygienic.
Yep.
You could do something like that, and everything's ruined. They still don't want to throw it away. but you have more ammunition there.
Right.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this sweater is half eaten.
Yeah.
You probably need to toss it now.
You don't have any use of that. Yeah.
Oh, well.
These boxes are soaking wet. There's a flood, a pipe burst. How did that happen?
Huh.
Somebody unscrewed a little bit.
Weird.
Huh.
Uh-oh. Huh.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty malicious, but if it's for their benefit, I'm trying to put myself seriously in this person. Like, I'm trying to imagine like my grandma, if she was a hoarder, and I was like, okay, this is unsafe. She's 83. I don't want her living in this house alone. A box falls on her, she's toast. I would probably just, I think I would do my first advice. I think I'd just take stuff.
You think so?
Yeah, I would just take stuff and be like, I didn't take anything. And then like if it became super apparent, like she was down to like 25% of her stuff, I'd be like, yeah, this is for your own good. And she'd be mad at me, but I'd be like, okay, well, I'm doing it for the right reasons. So.
She'd be healthier, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, name one thing that I took. And she'd be like, I don't know. Old sweaters. What did it look like? I don't know. Well,
I burned it.
Here's a picture. Oh, or this is even better. I just came up with a really good idea. So if this is an older person, this I don't know how legal this is. You take their stuff and you put it in a storage unit. And you don't ask permission. You put it in a storage unit, and they might be mad at first, but they still have their stuff. They're still keeping their stuff. It's in a storage unit. And you show them the unit, and they're like, okay, it is here. You didn't throw it away. You let a few months pass by, you pay on the storage unit, but then you just throw it all out. And you don't tell them. They're not going to keep visiting the unit. They don't do anything with that stuff. And then you're home free.
Bam.
All the stuff's gone.
That could work.
Yeah.
That could work.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I think that's what I would do if it was my grandma.
I thought you were going to go with the idea of taking pictures of everything. And then so they can still have pictures of like all their stuff that they had, but then not the actual things. So they can remember it.
Yeah.
But just not have it.
I don't think I like that because I think the whole point is they don't really remember it. They don't really know everything that they have. They just have it. And then when they see it, they're like, oh, yes, I need this. So I think pictures would kind of be against what I'm trying to accomplish.
So you don't think you should like take selfies with everything? And
see what I'm burning? I think that would just make them more upset. I think if someone took all my things and destroyed them, but took a selfie with them, I'd be pissed.
You wouldn't like that?
No, not one bit.
Okay, I'm gonna not do that then next time I visit.
Hopefully you're in a financial position to reimburse them for their things, but then you encourage them to buy more, but they can't do it fast enough.
Yeah, I think selling the things would be a good idea if you can sell it. I mean,
anything with value, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of hoarders just have trash. I just have a bunch of trash.
It's like old newspapers. They're like, oh, it'll be worth something one day.
Yep, like a bunch of trash that you just have to get rid of.
Yeah, or like old clothes.
Like, and then their house is all smelly and stuff. Like you're saying, if they have a couple cats,
dead ones even.
Yeah, that wouldn't smell really good.
Yeah,
man, that'd be such a tough spot.
Take those to Goodwill. Let's do our bright side. Let's get the heck out of here.
Yeah, let's blow dodge. So how have you been?
You love to ask me this right before the bright side when I'm trying to pull up the song. You always try to see how my day's going. It's going good, man. Yeah,
that's good.
So far, so good. Glad you're here.
Yeah, you won last night in poker.
I did.
Remember that?
I was just about to.
I turn the speaker again.
It's playing in the other room.
Your neighbors are appreciating that, yeah.
Welcome to Bright Side, everybody. This is Bright Side of the podcast. We're talking about the bright sides of our weeks. Connor just said mine. I won poker last night, which was sick. I had a couple people over. One guy cashed out a little early. He said he had a hot date in the morning. Needed to wake up on time.
Yeah.
And he cashed out a pretty good bit because the hand right before he beat me, pretty bad. I tried to bluff him off, which was, in hindsight, not good because he said it's his last hand. He was willing to lose everything. He just wanted to go. And so I bluffed him with a pretty sizable amount of bets. And he was just like, sure.
Last hand,
and he just had a single pair and I had nothing. So he got a good $5-6 out of me on the last hand. And he cashed out 25 on a $10 buy-in.
Not bad.
So that was half of the total chips. I played out the rest and I won the rest of them. So that was fun.
Ended up on top. Well, yeah, you kind of had a roller coaster of a night because you were taking care of business. You had a lot of the chips, and then you went down a whole lot, and then you worked your way back up again.
Yeah, I was chip leader for most of the night, and then I got pushed all in once or twice, and I lost. and I was like, then the lowest amount of chips on the table when I came back and won. So
yeah,
that was fun.
Yeah, and the gardener didn't play this time, so she didn't take my money.
Yeah, she didn't. She chipped in for 1 or 2 hands, and she won, I think, both of them.
For me.
Yeah, for you.
Yep.
And but yeah, that was good. What about you? What's your bright side?
Nice. Well, the bright side of my past week. Yeah, it was a chill weekend over this past weekend. Visiting Prestonia now, which is a bright side. But over the past weekend, man, yeah, I mean, I read a little bit, I think, of a book. Just relaxed with the family some, and had a couple good chats. Like had a good chat with my cousin, Clarkus, and then had a good chat.
Oh, yeah?
Had a good chat with Manny Joe. So like just a pretty chill weekend. A couple good chats here and there. Went to church, which was good. So that's a bright side too. So yeah, just a nice overall weekend.
Good deal, wheeling and dealing socially.
Yep.
Good man. All right. Well, this Wednesday. This episode comes out Wednesday just like they come out every Wednesday. Thanks for listening.
Peace.
Deuces.
I think your camera died too, by the way.
I believe so.